Let's say you're in the market to buy a new car, but you don't just want any car, you want one that is tough, rugged, and can take you places. It has the kind of drivetrain that doesn't get phased by the kind of challenges that different weathers and different kinds of terrains can pose, and a car that can also comfortably accommodate you, your family, your loved ones, your friends, your luggage, sometimes all of the above. So, here's a list of 5 most affordable cars with all wheel drive that are tough and can take you places.
So the most affordable one on this list is the Mahindra Thar. You can get the Thar with a soft top, a hard top. You can get it with a petrol, a diesel, an automatic, or a manual. There's multiple options over there catering to just whatever the type of driver you are and whatever the type of car you want. And prices for the Thar start for as cheap as 13 lakhs, 13 and a half, 14 lakhs, and going up as high as 17 lakhs, depending on what variant of the ones I've mentioned you pick. In case you don't want something all-wheel drive, Thar also comes with a rear-wheel drive, but this video is only about the all-wheel drive cars, so we're going to stick to that. Now, what's to say about the Thar that hasn't already been said? It's got quite a reputation for itself. It's been in the Indian market for quite a while. Almost everyone recognizes what a Thar is. In fact, the Thar has more of a name in India than Jeep does at this point, which is kind of ironic. And the more and more you read about the car, the more and more you realize just how versatile of a package it is. Sure, the Thar is not the most comfortable if you want to squeeze in your friends, family, and luggage together, but if you decide to only take one of them, it's a pretty comfortable car, and it's even better if you're just by yourself. So yes, if you are looking for an entry-level all-wheel drive car, it doesn't get any better than the Thar. Next on the list is the Force Gurkha. Now, I don't know if you know about the Force Gurkha already, but it is one badass looking car, mainly because it takes a lot of its design cues from the G-Wagon. And the G-Wagon is known as the OG, the top tier all-wheel drive car that you can get. So the Gurkha kind of takes a bit of inspiration from the G-Wagon, mainly to its looks. And its interior is pretty dead on the inside, but when it comes to going to places, when it comes to going and treading into the unknown, the Gurkha does a fantastic job. Those of you that don't know about the Force Gurkha comes quite well equipped to battle our Indian roads, especially when it comes to an all-wheel drive system. Not only that, it also gets a mechanically locking diff, which makes it even more versatile to own in our country. And it's one of those cars that you can drive as a daily commuter, but when the driving gets a bit more advanced and the surface gets a bit more tricky, the Gurkha comes well equipped with mechanical and not as much electronics, but mostly mechanicals to rely on and to tackle these obstacles. So yeah, prices for the Gurkha start from as little as 13 and I think about 14 lakhs, and yeah, that's it. You just mainly have one car, not many engine options, not many roof options, not any gearbox options. In fact, from what we've heard, the Gurkha has been spied with a 5-door variant, the Gurkha has been spied with a pickup truck variant. So there's a lot to look forward to. So you won't be able to take the top down, but hey, if you get a pickup, you can do a lot more. Now, third on the list is a bit of a tie because both these cars are kind of two sides to the same coin. I'm talking about the Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara and the Toyota Urban Cruiser. Now, both of these cars essentially share their underpinnings, they share a lot of their parts. The design, they take a different approach, but the rest of it mechanically, they're pretty alike. So I'm going to refer to them as one and the same package, and if you feel like going for either one, you can go and test drive either one. But for me, they're almost the same car when it comes to at least having an all-wheel drive system and mechanically speaking. So both these cars they are the latest ones to enter our Indian segment, and since they have entered, they have been taking it by storm. Now these are, unlike the previous two that I mentioned, these are a bit more family focused. They seem to focus a lot more on comfort and everyday usability as opposed to being off-road capable. That being said, Maruti Suzuki at the launch event did prove that the Grand Vitara is quite capable by putting it through a series of off-road tests, which does shine light on its capabilities. And I think since most of us will be venturing into the unknown where it doesn't get all that tricky, but it's just mostly going to be broken roads, I think something like the Grand Vitara and the Urban Cruiser should be just fine. So that being said, let me talk to you about the highlights about the Grand Vitara and the Urban Cruiser. So one thing that I personally really like is the fact that you can get them with a strong hybrid system. I mean, if you choose to go with the mild hybrid system, they're still good enough, but the strong hybrid to me is a great highlight because not only do they promise amazing fuel efficiency, like I'm talking about fuel efficiency that is like 20 kilometers per liter. Not only do you have that, but you also have a really comfortable car and range, like massive range. I think about minimum 1,000 kilometers of range in one full tank. And I think that is an amazing package for something that is going to venture into the unknown, right? That way you won't have to hurry to your nearest fuel station as often. and you can stay in the unknown for as long as you like. So in that regard, I think these two cars make great explorers and come third on our list. Fourth one, it's the big daddy of SUVs. That's the Mahindra Scorpio N. Now, in case you decide not to go for the Mahindra Scorpio, you can still go for the Scorpio Classic, which is just as capable. Trust me, I've had enough experience putting that car off-road, and it is very capable. It's quite hard to get that car stuck somewhere. Plus, you got all that politician swag with that car, and you can go anywhere. And even on the road, it clears obstacles for you the same way it'll clear obstacles on road. So that's a great thing. But coming back to the big daddy of SUVs, the Scorpio N. And the Scorpio N is essentially the next generation of the classic Scorpio. And it essentially doesn't reinvent the wheel, it just improves on everything that could have been improved on the Scorpio and makes it even better. Again, very capable all-wheel drive system. Mahindra put a lot of emphasis on the launch of the car and took us to a lovely off-road trail somewhere in the hills of Lonavala. And again, in the muck, in the slush, it is quite capable. It did a wonderful job. So I would say for you, your family, your luggage, the 7-seater car that the Scorpio N is, it's quite capable, quite spacious. You can have it with both petrol and diesel variants, and I think it is a great package. And now fifth and final one on the list is the Isuzu DMax. Now the Isuzu DMax is quite a versatile car. All the cars I mentioned before bring versatility in their own way. Some focusing a bit more on tackling off-road terrain, some focusing a bit more on tackling on-road terrain and off-road being a secondary. But all the cars over here that I've mentioned so far are family friendly and accommodating, excluding the Thar, maybe not as family friendly. But the Isuzu DMax, it's a car that's been around for quite a while. It's a very familiar looking package. Even though internationally you can get a much better Isuzu DMax that has been around for quite a while now. I don't know why the hell Isuzu hasn't brought the DMax to India yet, the new one. If you haven't seen it yet, you should definitely go check it out, because if you saw the Isuzu DMax, the new one, I don't think you'd be interested in any other pickup that you can get in India, because to me, it is one of the most handsome, sexiest pickup trucks that you can currently get in the world. In India, unfortunately, Isuzu's taken a bit of a back seat and has been selling us the old D-Max, so you can still get the old D-Max. Again, still a very capable car, has tons of potential. You have more than enough space to store in the car, not just luggage but also passengers. Also, the car is very off-road capable, and this is not just me saying it, it's the tons of people around the globe that have put this car through the test, and even people in this country for that matter. I remember doing a trip to Ladakh with the Isuzu D-Max, and that car felt tough as nails. So if you're out there in the market and you're looking for a trustworthy four-wheel drive car for you, your family, your friends, or just yourself and your luggage, and you need something that can do the daily run but also head out into the wilderness every time you want it, for me, these 5 or 6 cars, the way you see it, are some of my top picks that you can possibly get within a reasonable budget. So yeah, I mean, reasonable being quite a spectrum, because if you think about it, the other cars kind of cost 20 lakh plus. So yeah, you know, all-wheel drive is not cheap. But then again, I think we should make another video. Let's make another video in the future talking about two-wheel drive cars that are very off-road capable. I think that should be a more fun video. But in case you're looking for four-wheel drive cars, I hope this video was helpful to you. This is Gavin Rodriguez signing off.